Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into 1905 Bengal, a really pivotal year.
Absolutely. It saw this huge political decision, but it was much more than that, wasn't it? It was about a shift in resistance.
Exactly. That news on July 20th, Parliament approving Curzon's plan to partition Bengal. I mean, despite all the protests, the boycotts.
It just went ahead. And for people in Bengal particularly, it felt like a deep, deliberate cut. Like all their efforts, thousands of meetings, meant nothing.
A real sense of futility, it sounds like.
Precisely. It felt like a betrayal, almost. And it really forced a change in how people thought about resisting British rule.
And that's kind of the perfect storm for our story today, isn't it? We're looking at this crucial first meeting between Sister Nivedita and Sri Aurobindo.
Two huge figures. And we want to explore how their paths crossed right at this critical moment and really ignited the revolutionary movement.
Yeah, what was that synergy like? So our mission here is to dig into the sources, especially this book, Aurobindo Smriti Grantha by Biswanath Deb.
Which gives us some amazing details about this encounter. We want to pull out the key insights, the surprising facts, the connection between these two. It's your shortcut, really, to understanding what was bubbling beneath the surface then.
Okay, so let's set the scene again. July 20th, 1905. The partition is approved. Beyond the shock, what was the feeling on the ground? That sense of constitutional protest just isn't working.
That's exactly it. A deep disillusionment. People felt, petitions and meetings weren't enough anymore. And right then, Sister Nivedita, she undergoes this incredible transformation.
The disciple of Swami Vivekananda.
Yes, the sources say she became Rudrani, a fierce warrior aspect. Moneybag wrote something quite powerful, that the calm ascetic became a lion-riding warrior Durga.
Wow, so this wasn't just like a mood swing, it was a fundamental shift, a spiritual energy directed towards political action.
That's how it's described, a channeling of spiritual force into the fight. And it prepared her for what came next.
And what's fascinating is, while Nivedita's having this internal shift, Aurobindo isn't just sitting idle, right? He's already making moves.
Absolutely. Even before they officially meet, he was quietly setting up these secret revolutionary societies in Kolkata, around Kolkata.
Laying the groundwork, creating the networks.
Exactly, building the infrastructure for a more organized, more radical resistance.
And Nivedita taps right into that. The source mentioned she donated about 200 books from her own library to these societies.
Yeah, and think about what books, not just general reading.
Right, it specifies literature on revolutions. Irish, Russian.
Stuff that was really hard to get hold of back then. It wasn't just inspiration, it was practical knowledge, histories, strategies.
Blueprints for revolution, almost.
You could say that, providing the intellectual toolkit.
So her home in Bashpara Lane becomes this hub, not just a library drop-off, but a place where revolutionaries came when they were stuck.
That's right. They'd come to her, maybe struggling with these complex ideas from the books, and she'd break it down, explain revolutionary history, tactics, in simple terms.
How vital was that? Her personal guidance, translating theory into potential action.
Oh, incredibly important. She provided that intellectual support structure, but it took a huge toll on her.
The source says day and night.
Yes, this relentless work. And it led to her getting seriously ill with typhoid in August 1905. Nearly died, actually.
Goodness.
Yeah, she had to go off to Darjeeling to recover. It really shows the personal sacrifice involved in all this, behind-the-scenes work.
So while Nivedita is recovering, things are still moving publicly. August 7th, 1905, that big meeting at Calcutta Town Hall.
Huge meeting, chaired by Maharaja Manindra Chandra Nandi. And that's where the resolution to boycott British goods and embrace Swadeshi was passed.
A major public declaration. But this wasn't just a spontaneous thing, was it?
No, not at all. And this is where Aurobindo comes back in, even from a distance. The proposal for the boycott itself, it originated from Baroda.
And was drafted by Aurobindo Ghosh.
Exactly. The source calls it a fundamental contribution of Aurobindo's genius to politics. Shows his strategic thinking was already shaping events.
You can just imagine the atmosphere at that meeting. Tumultuous applause as they take this oath.
A powerful moment.
Yeah.
An oath that if partition became law, they would boycott British goods. No more asking. Now it's economic action.
What message did that send to the British, do you think? More than just another protest?
Oh, definitely. It signaled a shift towards active, collective resistance. Economic warfare, in a sense, and it didn't stop there.
Right. There's another meeting later, September 22nd.
And then on October 16th, Rabindranath Tagore proposes the Rakhi Bandhan Utsav
Tying the Rocky thread.
as a symbol of Hindu-Muslim unity against the partition. He even recited a new mantra for it, using tradition to forge this modern political statement.
Okay, so fast forward a bit. Nivedita comes back to Kolkata around December 1905. Leaders flock to her, but then she does something interesting. Goes to the Congress session in Varanasi 3 days early.
Right. Strategic thinking again. The sources give two key reasons. One, she knew the Congress was mostly moderate. Only Maharashtra and Punjab were likely to back Bengal's Swadeshi push.
Okay, assessing the political landscape.
But the other reason, and this is crucial, she'd received word that Aurobindo Ghosh would be there.
Ah, so she's anticipating this meeting, going early to prepare, perhaps, or to influence things before he arrived.
Seems like a calculated move, yes.
Yeah.
Setting the stage for a potential alliance of the more radical elements.
And the session itself, presided over by the moderate leader Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Nivedita confronts him directly.
She does, makes a strong plea. Congress must support the boycott movement.
A direct challenge to the moderate approach. How did Gokhale react?
He hesitated. The source says he felt Congress couldn't support revenge and hatred. He saw the boycott in those terms.
So a fundamental clash of ideologies right there.
Absolutely, the gap between petitioning and direct action.
But Nivedita didn't back down. Her response was pretty sharp, wasn't it?
Incredibly sharp. Congress cannot, but Bengalis can. Can't you even say that much? It's like she was questioning their courage to even acknowledge the people's will.
And she didn't just use words. There's this symbolic act described.
Yes, quite remarkable. She welcomes Gokhale with a bowl of milk, prasad, from the Kashi Vishwar temple, sign of respect.
Spiritual gesture.
But then she whispers in his ear, urging him to ensure Congress declares the boycott demand legitimate. It's this mix of, spiritual influence and hard-nosed politics.
And incredibly, it seems to have worked.
Well, the context was building. Tagore then sings Vande Mataram. The atmosphere is electric. And Gokhale, swayed by the public mood, maybe Nivedita's influence too, declares the boycott demand legitimate.
Wow, that must have been a shock to many.
A huge moment. It gave the boycott movement, and by extension the extremist faction, a significant boost in legitimacy within the broader nationalist movement. Even the moderate leader had acknowledged it.
It showed the tide was turning, perhaps, that popular pressure and more assertive tactics were starting to have an impact even on the established leadership.
Precisely. It validated their approach in a very public way.
So all these threads, Nivedita's transformation, Aurobindo's quiet work, the public boycotts, the Congress session, they all converge now, right? At their first meeting?
Yes, finally. The historic encounter. It happened the evening after that Varanasi session ended.
Where?
At Nivedita's rented house in Kashi, in a place called Til Pandeshwar, a narrow lane apparently. Aurobindo arrived with several other extremist leaders.
What a scene that must have been. And the conversation, the sources give us snippets, right? It's electric.
It really is. Nivedita starts very direct. Revolution is not far away.
And Aurobindo's reply, even more immediate.
Revolution has arrived. Just like that. The difference is subtle but profound. One sees it coming, the other sees it as already present.
Nivedita then asks the crucial question, but who is the leader of this revolution? Assessing the field.
And Aurobindo identifies Bal Gangadhar Tilak.
Oh.
Tilak, he says. He is an extraordinary revolutionary leader. Leadership of the extremist party should be given to him.
Interesting. Shows Aurobindo's strategic thinking, recognizing Tilak's role and perhaps defining his own different role at that point.
It seems so. And then Nivedita shows her own sharpness. She asks him directly.
Did you write that boycott proposal?
Exactly. And Aurobindo confirms he did. He seems a bit surprised, asks her how she knew.
And her answer is just brilliant.
It really is. After reading the proposal, I understood it was your writing. It tells you so much about her analytical skill, but also about Aurobindo's unique intellectual stamp. His writing style, his thinking, was already that distinctive.
A meeting of minds that recognize each other almost instantly.
It certainly appears that way. The synergy was palpable.
And the conversation ends with this powerful challenge from Nivedita.
Yes. How long will you work from behind the scenes? Will you not actualize Bhavani Mandir? We're waiting for you.
Bhavani Mandir. This wasn't a literal temple, was it? Explain that concept.
No. Bhavani Mandir was Aurobindo's concept, outlined in a pamphlet around that time. It envisioned a kind of spiritual national center, a metaphorical temple of the mother dedicated to India's resurgence, training selfless workers, infusing national life with spiritual power.
So Nivedita is essentially saying, stop theorizing, stop working in the shadows, it's time to lead, run this vision into reality. We need you out front.
Precisely. a direct call for him to step up and take public leadership of this new phase of the movement.
And that meeting clearly had immediate practical consequences, because very soon after,
Within 3 months of that Kashi Congress, yes, the revolutionary newspaper Yugantar is launched.
directly inspired by this Nivedita Aurobindo connection, and Yugantar wasn't subtle.
Not at all. It openly advocated armed revolution, a significant escalation from other nationalist papers.
This source contrasts it with Sandhya, right? Which also pushed revolutionary ideas, but maybe more gently.
Yes, Sandhya, run by Brahmabandhav Upadhyay's group, had a simpler, maybe milder tone in its daily publications. Yugantar was described as an open proponent of revolution, much more direct, much more aggressive.
Pulling no punches, as they say.
Exactly. And this wasn't just a random development. The planning for Yugantar happened where,
At Nivedita's house in Bag Bazaar, Kolkata, this becomes a real hub for the next phase.
the second phase of Aurobindo's secret societies really kicks off here, and the detailed plans for the newspaper were hammered out there.
With key people involved. Aurobindo's brother, Baron Ghosh.
And Swami Vivekananda's brother, Bhupendranath Dutta.
And Nivedita wasn't just hosting. She directly appointed Bhupendranath Dutta as the editor of Yugantar.
Yes, her involvement was hands-on. She wasn't just an inspiration, she was part of the operational planning.
It paints this incredible picture of her transformation, fully realized now. The source uses this powerful image
Of Nagmaka, the mother of serpents.
meeting the mother of revolutionaries.
Metaphorically, yes. Whispering the Ma Boy mantra, fear not, to these young revolutionaries, the Nagshishus, or children of serpents. And the source concludes that her presence, combined with Aurobindo's, truly ignited the air of Bengal with the bugle of revolution.
A very potent image. It captures the combined impact they had.
So let's try and synthesize this. This deep dive, it's really shown us this crucial, maybe underappreciated partnership between Nivedita and Aurobindo.
Absolutely. That first meeting, the collaboration that followed, born right out of the partition crisis. It was instrumental. It galvanized the movement in Bengal, laid groundwork for what came later.
It's a fascinating example of how different strengths combine. Nivedita's intellect, her passion, her practical support.
Combined with Aurobindo's deep vision, his strategic mind, it created this incredibly powerful force, challenged the old ways, inspired a whole generation towards a more radical path.
So as we finish up, maybe a thought for you, the listener, to take away when we think about history's big turning points.
Yeah, how often do we focus on the big speeches, the public declarations? Right, but how often are the real sparks ignited in quieter settings? In these intense, insightful conversations between just a couple of people, maybe away from the crowds.
Like this meeting in Kashi, profoundly shaping the future, but not exactly public knowledge at the time.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden connections, these quiet synergies, might be behind other major historical shifts that we just haven't looked closely enough at? What unseen conversations might have changed the world?